Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 7 of Calisthenics Kidz. Today we're going to be learning cool balance tricks. We're going to be learning how to balance on one leg. We're going to be learning cool movement tricks like this. And we're just going to have loads of fun with movement. Before we get started though, all I need you to do, find a space, make sure you're not going to bash into anything that's around you. And we're going to start with a warm-up movement that we've covered in previous lessons. So all you're going to do is, hands are going to start off in front of you. You're going to push. Imagine you're filming at the front. So here's my camera. I'm going to push away from the floor, camera out of the front. If this is easy, I want you to push away from the floor and shoot your camera up to the ceiling. So push back, camera up to the ceiling, camera at the front, and back down. Then what we're going to do is we're going to shoot the camera slightly to the side. So you're going to push back, camera to the front, film at the ceiling, at the front, film to the left, centre, film to the right. Make sure you're capturing all angles. Okay, we're going to do that once more. So push back, film at the front, film above you as tall as you can, to the left and to the right. Excellent job. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to imagine we're climbing up a fireman's pole and then shooting down as fast as we possibly can. So push up, then climbing nice and slowly, might be feeling these muscles working, and then slide down it as fast as you can. So slow, 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 all the way up to the top, and then slide down as fast as you can. Then what I want you to do when we're right at the very top is you're going to try and come up as tall as you can. So you're going to be on the tips of your toes. So climbing up nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow, and then who can hold and then drop fast. Excellent. One more time. This time we're going to climb out to the side. So we're climbing towards our left, climbing towards our right, all the way up to the top, tall, 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 and drop fast. Excellent. Next thing we're going to do is something called a duck walk. So we're going to imagine we're nice and low. We're going to imagine our knee is trimming the grass. So I'm going to show you first from the side and the front, then you're going to have a go. So from the side, it looks like this. I start off in this position, and my knee is trimming the grass if we were on any. So find yourself a space, starting off in this position here, so knee close to your ankle, and then just coming forward. Now if you think that's easy, or you want to challenge your parents, can you go backwards? Most of your parents will probably struggle with this. Excellent. And then maybe if you're feeling a little bit adventurous, you can add in some side to side movement. So can we go forwards? Can we go backwards? Excellent job. And just to make that really tricky, we're going to practice doing that with our arms over our head. If you happen to have anything nearby to challenge you, maybe a water bottle if you really want to back yourself, that's going to go over your head, and then you're going to try and walk forwards first and then backwards. So above your head, keep it as tall as you can. Can you walk forwards? And can you walk backwards? So testing our balance, testing our strength, and then seeing whether we've got any skills in the locker. The next thing we're going to do is called a horse walk. So why the long face? Not sure. So all we're going to do is take our feet out as wide as we can. Imagine we've got nice long horse legs, and all we're going to do is come out as far to the side as we can. So we're going to stay nice and low. We're going to come to the side as far as we can, and then come around this side as far as we can. So trying to go as far as we can with our feet, staying nice and low, and then try that forwards as well. So reaching with your foot, slide over, sliding to the side. Excellent job. Now what we're going to try is something called a ninja walk. So this is like a combination of our duck walk and our horse walk. So ninjas, very stealthy, very sneaky. All we're going to do is stay nice and low. We're going to come forward as if we're doing our duck walk, but rather than keeping your knees forward, this leg stays forward, this leg coming out to the side. So all we're doing, if I come back here, is this leg starts here, we're going to come round to the side and then forward. So round to the side and then forward. If you're really good, have a go at doing that backwards. So in this position here, this leg comes out to the side, almost like a daddy long legs, so it's trying to gain as much ground as possible before coming back underneath me. Excellent job. Right, now we're going to get on to the focus of today's lesson, which is whether we can roll and get into a single leg position. So all I want you to practice first is we're going to try a movement called the monkey, which we covered in lesson 4, I believe it was. Might have to double check that. And just to see if we can get our legs landing 1, 2. So one leg lands, then the other. So I'm going to show you how to perform it first, then you're going to have a go. So we start off in this position here, and all we're going to do, imagine that one hand is on the top coming round, and all we're going to do is it lands 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a clear difference between when that lands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, watching carefully, comes over the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me show that again nice and slowly. Do it with me, don't just watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're really good at this, then what you can do is try and add a little bit of height to the movement. So if you're really good, it's going to look something like this. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about pushing through the floor, not about jumping with the legs. This is also nice for when we get onto later lessons on cartwheels. When we go for our cartwheels, we're going to land 1, 2, and then the feet will follow 3, 4. So let's try that with a little bit of space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to back up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Upper body's working hard, coordination, knowing where we are in time and space. So let's try our monkey going backwards this time. So this is a bit more coordination. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then 3, 4 with the legs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And backwards again. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time what I want you to do is stand up out of that position, putting more weight on one leg. So I'll show you what that looks like first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put more weight onto one side. So I'm going to put more weight on this leg, and then stand up. So do this with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put more weight on my right side. I'm going to let my left side just be for balance. So pushing through one side more than the other. Let's try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put more weight on one side. So I'm predominantly using this leg. And if you can, try and take the other leg off if you're able to. So you're only really using it for balance. So watch again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I can, I'm going to make this leg as light as I can, even if I can't take it off the floor. So watching this foot, even if I can't take it off the floor, I'm still leaning to put more weight onto one side. If I can take it off, then I'm going to, and then stand up. Okay, now what we're going to do is focus on rolling into a single leg move. So all I want you to do is you're going to hug your knees into your chest. You're going to make a really tight ball. So gripping your knees to your chest, all I want you to do is try and roll backwards. Make sure you're not going to hit your head. So if you need to move stuff, then move it. So all you're going to do, knees close to your chest, roll backwards, and then roll forwards. And what I want you to try and do is get your feet flat on the floor when you do this. So knees tight, roll backwards, and then forwards. If you're really good, you'll be able to end up in this position here, where I'm just sitting at the very bottom of this movement. So let's try again. Knees tight, and roll fast. The faster you do this, the easier it's going to be to stand up. And up we come. Make sure you're tucking your chin in when you do this, so you're not just banging your head on the floor. Put a couple of pillows down if you need to. So rolling backwards. Can we get in this position here? Next thing we're going to do is see if we can work on that transition. So all we're going to do here is work on forcefully shooting our arms and our hips forward. So watch me from the side. So I'm in this position. I'm going to shift my hips forward and just hold that position nice and tall. So arms ready. 3, 2, 1. Arms back and forward. Now what we're going to do is try and get onto our feet. So we're going to start in this position here. We're going to come back, down and up. So we're here, come back. I'm going to launch my arms up and then come forward. See if you can manage that without falling over. So that's level 1 if you like. See if mum can do it, see if dad can do it. Let's give that another go. So arms back. We can start at the top if we want to challenge ourselves a bit more. So arms back and land like a ninja. So nice and quietly. Let's try that again. You're going to need to probably spread your feet a little bit wider to make this easier. So arms back and snap forward. Remember that cameraman position with your arms out in front. That's going to help you somewhat. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this up a notch. Now this is difficult, so don't worry if you land 1, 2. So all we're going to do is roll backwards as fast as roll back and forth as fast as we can. And as we pop ourselves up, we're just going to reach one leg in front of the other. So let me show you what that looks like first from the side and then from the front. So I'm going to start off back here. I'm in my little ball, I roll back, and as I roll forward, I'm just trying to reach one leg in front of the other. So let me show you what that looks like. Roll back, and then you notice how one leg's in front of the other, rather than me rolling to this position. Let's try again. So reach your right foot forward, and then see if you can come forward. Notice how this looks like our duck walk position. So that's the position I want you to end up in. Let's try that again. Knees close to your chest. If we need to roll a couple of times to get some momentum going. Oh! How do you get on at home? How was that? Okay, now I want you to try it on the other side. So if you shot your left leg forward, then I want you to try shooting your right leg forward. So a little bit of coordination, making the brain think a little bit. So roll once, roll twice. Almost imagine you're trying to give somebody a little kick with one of your legs. So a little kick, and I'm through. Okay, this next challenge is even harder. So this time, you're going to roll into a squat, try and take one of your legs off the ground. If you're doing this with mum or dad, get them to hold your hands to let you feel what that bottom position feels like. So I'll demonstrate first. You're going to roll onto 2 feet and then just stretch one leg out in front. So nice quick roll. So quick roll, roll onto 2 feet, shift your weight forward slightly if you need to. Can you balance on one leg? Again, if this foot's on the floor, don't worry about that, that's fine. What's your balance like? Can you keep your foot flat on the floor? If you can keep your foot flat on the floor, that's going to make it a hell of a lot easier. So I'll show you this from the side. It's easier to balance if I keep that foot flat on the floor than if I'm up here like that. Okay, so can you balance and transition your feet? So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm rolling. I'm going to roll onto 2 feet, spread my feet wide. Going to come onto 1 foot here. It's okay if it's on the floor. If you can lift it up, well done you. Back underneath you. Transition to the other leg. If you're able to lift it up, lift it up. If you're not, keep it on the floor. Lean forward, it's going to make it easier. Hold on to mum and dad's hand in front of you. Make it even easier than that. And back down. Now, if you want to know the next level up from that, we're going to use that horse walk where we were nice and low, remember this? And see if we can transition even further. So this time what you're going to do is roll forward, then take one leg out to the side and slide across and back down. So we're going to count going from one side to the other as 1. We're going to do 4. Use mum and dad's hands if this is difficult. So we're here, we're in this position, stretch over to this one, feet together and back down. So it's feet apart, feet together, feet apart, feet together. So rolling back, so feet together, feet apart, feet together, and back. Excellent. Once more each side. So spread the feet wide, so feet are together, feet are apart, feet are together, and last one. And back, and slide across. Excellent. Right, my last couple of challenges is, can we pop onto one leg? So we're going to do it with a roll first, and then we're going to just try and almost jump our hips up with it. So when you're doing this, if you're doing this with mum and dad, make sure they've got hands in front ready to catch you so you can pull yourself up. If you're doing this by yourself, you're going to need to roll very, very fast. So I'm going to roll 3 times, tight little ball, and then I'm going to try and pop myself onto one leg and stand up if I can. So nice and tight, I'm going to roll 1, 2, and last one, 3, throw that leg forward. Can I balance? Can I keep that foot flat on the floor? Excellent if you can, and if you're really good, don't worry if this foot's on the floor or you need your hands, can you stand up out of it? So let's try that again. Again, if you're doing this and it's difficult, somebody can hold their hands here. As you roll up, you grab their hands. They should only be helping you as little as possible, just so you can get up out of the position. Let's show you that again. So rolling 1, generating some speed for 2, and last one, 3. Excellent. So that is your challenge for today's lesson. Tag Calisthenics Kidz, and let's keep improving strength, movement skill, and confidence in young children. Get your mum and dad to have a go. See if you can do better than them. See if you can do better than me. And in fact, I almost forgot one final challenge. So that's one challenge. If you're really confident, this is your last challenge. Now let me try. All I'm going to do is launch my hips forward, see if I can end up on one leg. Now this is tricky. Make sure there's not many stuff around you. So last challenge. So my hips launch forward, my arms come through, I end up on one leg. So 3, 2, 1. And that is your challenge. Bonus mark if you can land it and not have to keep your feet on the floor. So let me try that. So 3, 2, 1. Nah, nearly. If you can do better than that, tag me, Calisthenics Kidz. I want to see your effort. I want to see your mum and dad's effort. Let's get you moving off the couch and developing some cool tricks to impress your friends. Have a great time, and I will catch you in lesson number 8 of Calisthenics Kidz.